They used to say it, but you also mentioned a song. They be like, they be saying Slide for Vaughn. I think they trolling me. Yo, by the way, them songs is fire. I ain't gonna lie.
For some reason, I just don't see them comments no more. For some odd reason. I don't know. Might be the water. You be seeing them comments a lot?
They kind of chilled out a little bit.
I wonder why.
On Thursday, October 26th, as he tried to slip out of the country near Miami International Airport, Durk was taken down by federal agents. They've hit him with a criminal complaint alleging he conspired with others to carry out a brutal murder, a shooting that went down at a gas station near the Beverly Center Mall in Los Angeles back in August 2022. This isn't a regular case, this is federal, with accusations so deep they're talking about conspiracy and murder for hire. The hip-hop community has seen its share of run-ins with the law, but if these charges stick, Durk could be looking at life behind bars. But it's bigger than Durk. This case could mark a shift in how the streets and the industry collide. Hip-hop has always been a platform for voices from the roughest corners, but the feds are watching closer than ever. If they can bring down one of the biggest names in the game, what does it mean for the culture? Could Durk's downfall be the start of something bigger? A crackdown on hip-hop itself? To understand why Lil Durk's in this position, we got to go back to November 2020, to one of the most infamous moments in recent hip-hop history. That's the night King Von, Durk's close friend, part of his Only the Family crew, was shot and killed outside an Atlanta nightclub. This wasn't just another loss for Durk. This was personal. Von was like a brother to him, someone who came up through the struggle, fighting to escape the streets just like Durk did.
Yeah. You had a great relationship with him, obviously.
Yeah.
Where were you when you got the call?
We was in Houston. We were shooting a video, I think. Yeah.
He was one of the most talented guys on the planet.
Somebody told me if you can copy an artist to be somebody for Halloween, you made it. He had a whole image. You know what I'm saying? And he lived what he lives. What he rapped about, he lived, but he was good hearted at the same time. So it's like authentic, genuine. You don't really get that.
Mm-hmm.
When King Von was killed in 2020, it shook Durk's world. And when Von's life was taken during that brawl in Atlanta, allegedly by an associate of Quando Rondo, fans in the streets felt the tension rising. Rumor had it Durk wasn't just mourning, he was looking for payback. But the feds say he didn't just want revenge, he put money on it. Word on the street is that he put a bounty on Quando Rondo, ready to bankroll anyone who could take him out. The feds claim Durk tapped into OTF's resources for the hit. They allege he funded flights, paid for burner phones, and fronted cash to move hitters across state lines, keeping everything low-key to avoid any heat coming back his way. They say he told his people, "No names involved with me," to keep it airtight. But now the indictment is out, and the feds are coming with everything they've got: messages, money trails, and surveillance footage, painting a picture of a well-planned, well-funded plot aimed at blood. The retaliation hit on Quando Rondo wasn't just about a single target. When Durk's alleged plan took a life, it wasn't Rondo himself who was hit, but his cousin. And in the twisted reality of street life, that indirect strike sent a message just as powerful. To some, missing Rondo and taking down his cousin could be seen as almost symbolic. It was an emotional bullet, hitting deeper than physical pain.
Sometimes people can't separate reality from fiction. However, it's very easily done when we're talking about films, very easily done when we're talking about video games.
Lil Durk's case could be a turning point for hip-hop, drill music, and the culture as a whole. If the authorities manage to convict Durk under RICO and murder-for-hire charges, it won't just be about his personal downfall. It'll be a message, a shift in how the legal system approaches not just rap, but the entire structure behind these crews and collectives. In recent years, we've seen law enforcement getting serious about cracking down on rappers with ties to violent street culture. This is about more than just lyrics. It's about how prosecutors are willing to use those lyrics as evidence of real-world intent. Durk's case, combined with ongoing RICO cases against artists like Young Thug and Casanova, is pushing a major shift. It shows that the system is ready to use everything rappers say and do, even on social media, as ammunition in criminal cases. With drill being so deeply rooted in street realism and rivalries, this scrutiny isn't just a trend. It's likely to become a new reality for any artist associated with the genre.
It's the rap music that creates this fear. It's not happening in other genre of music.
Johnny Cash said, I
shot a man in Reno
to watch him die. You know, I shot the sheriff.
But I didn't shoot no deputy.
This ain't the first time, but it's rap music. And because it's rap music and it was born and bred out of some place that a lot of people don't understand, we're constantly attacked.
Hip-hop has always been about keeping it real, telling the truth of life on the streets, unfiltered. But now, that authenticity is coming at a cost. With cases like Lil Durk's under federal scrutiny, hip-hop, and especially drill music, are under the microscope. Law enforcement sees lyrics, music videos, and social media as evidence instead of expression, blurring the line between art and reality. If rappers risk real prison time for representing the streets, the whole genre could be forced to shift, with artists feeling the pressure to dial back or avoid certain themes altogether. This isn't just an artist issue, it's a wake-up call for the entire hip-hop industry. Labels who used to bank on the appeal of gritty, street-connected rappers are now questioning their investments. A RICO case involving Durk puts everyone attached to him, labels, investors, brands, at risk. Major labels that once thrived on the street credibility of their artists might start walking back, tightening the leash on artists with active connections to street life. But this impact goes beyond the record label boardrooms. It touches every part of the hip-hop ecosystem. Streaming platforms, promoters, and brands might start to enforce stricter policies on what they'll support, especially if that content is raw and unfiltered. For hip-hop, and particularly for drill music, this means risking a pushback to the underground, where the stories are real, but the consequences are high. For fans, that authenticity is the heart of hip-hop, especially in drill, the no-holds-barred truth. But as more artists face real-life consequences for their lyrics, hip-hop may be at a crossroads. Stay raw and risk more heat, or clean up and lose what makes it real. Durk's case might be the tipping point, pushing hip-hop to either adapt or face whatever fallout comes next.
How does Durk wiggle out of this? Can he wiggle out of this? What do you predict happens in the future with Durk?
Only way for him to get out of this, homie, he got to tell about some more murders and be willing to testify. That's the only way. The feds don't want money. They either want information or your ass. It's the only way to bargain with the feds. Information or your ass. So, ain't no out. Ain't no out to this.
The odds of Lil Durk walking free from this murder-for-hire case are slim. With the heavy weight of federal charges and RICO laws in play, his path to freedom almost requires serious leverage. In high-profile cases like this, federal prosecutors don't just want a conviction. They're after information that could expose bigger criminal networks and tie up loose ends in larger investigations. Will Lil Durk be testifying? Not likely. In the world he's built his image on, being a snitch could destroy his entire reputation and brand. He's carved his success on authenticity, loyalty, and staying true to his roots. A move like testifying against his own people would contradict everything his career and crew stand for. Even if it meant shaving years off his sentence, cooperating would make him a target, both within his world and from fans who see snitching as a betrayal. Durk has always leaned into his street credibility, making his brand about survival, loyalty, and family. Values deeply tied to the streets and to his collective OTF. Even if the pressure's on, even if the case is stacked against him, flipping on his people isn't a move he'd likely take. High-profile cases like these often come down to federal pressure and heavy sentencing tactics. But for Durk, the label of snitch would be a stain he may never recover from in his world or in the hip-hop game. In federal cases, cooperating is usually one of the only real bargaining chips. But Durk has too much riding on his loyalty and image to go down that road lightly. This isn't just a legal decision. It's one that could define his legacy in hip-hop. Lil Durk's arrest is more than just a legal battle. It's a moment that could redefine hip-hop, especially drill music, from its lyrics to its future in the mainstream. If the charges stick, it could set a precedent for record labels, fans, and the industry as a whole, with hip-hop potentially forced to adapt or face greater risk. This might be the moment where hip-hop, especially drill, stands at a crossroads, forced to either evolve or return to its underground roots.